What's going on, guys? Today I'm gonna make a little bit of a car update. I'm gonna update pretty much everything I have, even down to the 240. So it's been a bit since I made a video, mainly because of work, waiting on parts, time's a big thing. Summer is pretty much here, or it's already here. I don't even know when it starts, but the weather, the nice weather, you know, on the weekends you don't really want to work on your cars and you go do something else. But anyways, I gotta start grinding. I'm just gonna start going through each car. So the Lexus is pretty much where we left off at. Go ahead and pop the hood. I'm gonna take this cover off. It's a good thing I had that cover on because all this water was sitting on top of my engine. Hope nothing else got wet. Yeah, so Lexus, it's pretty much been sitting exactly how we left it. I ordered a Serial 9 shifter adapter. It's like the relocation kit, and I was supposed to get it mid-June, and the guys over at Serial 9 emailed me back the other day and they said mid to end of July. So I was like, yeah, no. So I went ahead, I started Googling some different shifters, and I ended up putting in the same shifter, the CD999 by Serial 9, and a company called Concept Z Performance actually had one in stock, just one. So went ahead, I ordered that. I canceled my order with Serial 9. So that thing's gonna be here by the end of next week. Right now it's Sunday, so that's why I haven't really been grinding on this thing, just because I don't really want to put it together just to take it apart. But I guess I can start doing some minor stuff, you know, plugging everything in. I pretty much got everything plugged in, but I can start routing, you know, like the AC lines and the compressor and putting the radiator back in, stuff like that. So yeah, so that's gonna be one thing I'm gonna try and work on today, is getting the Lexus buttoned up a bit more. Moving on to this thing. So I just picked this up a couple weeks ago. It is an Impreza L. It's got the 2.5 RS front end on it. It's got the wing. It's sitting on some KYB AGX struts with some like lowering springs. I just put these BBS STI wheels on it. Paint is pretty sick. It needs a nice buff. You can see all the halos and the swirls in it, but it's almost like midnight purple. It's very, very similar. Pretty decent paint job. I got to redo the bumpers, but basically I bought this thing as a daily. I have not dailied it yet, and I haven't really driven it yet, but this is why. So it is an L, so it's a base model car. They come with crank windows, and right now it has power doors on it, but I don't have a power harness. So the front doors have harnesses, the rears do not, but the whole the bulkhead harness is for a crank window car. So I've been trying to find a power harness out of like a 96, 97, because they should be the same thing, and it's actually pretty tough, believe it or not. So I'd rather just go ahead and replace the whole harness instead of just doing some bootleg ass wiring. So yeah, but it's the stock 2.2. It runs great, it drives great, it's honestly a fun little car. So that's the Impreza. Moving on to the 240. So this thing's been sitting since the last drift event I think I hit in November, and I think it's time we get this car cover off her and see if she starts up. Oh man. Ooh. Started right up. Look at that. Thing's annoying. She sounds good, man. I'm gonna put a bolt in that. So just went for a quick ride. This thing definitely needs some work. Kind of feels like it's all over the place, but then again, I haven't driven this thing in so long that I don't even remember how it feels. Definitely have to do a bolt check. Definitely think some axles are loose in the rear. But overall, she's almost ready to rip. Gonna have to do something about the exhaust. I I got a ton of leaks, and I definitely want to do a couple more grounds, just because the current setup doesn't have a bunch of grounds. I'm thinking that this thing needs a couple more, being it's got an old Apex CFC, and you know, back in Japan, all the homeboys, they run tons of grounds everywhere, so might as well do the same thing, at least a couple more. Might help, might not, I don't know. It's not gonna hurt it. So I'm gonna go ahead and find a couple grounds that I have, and we're gonna put them in a couple spots, probably off the head or the intake manifold, and maybe off the block if the engine cooled down enough, but I guess we'll see. All right, so I got that ground in right there. Just going to top of the coil, right to the ground spot on the intake manifold. This thing is super hot still, so I'm just gonna wait. When I go ahead and jack it up, I'll go ahead and find a spot on the engine block. I know it's aluminum, but it still grounds out. So I'll do the engine block to like the chassis or the subframe, whatever I can find. I'll throw that throw a ground on it. I got this little guy left over, so it'll work fine. I'll leave it right here for now. So it's going to conclude today's episode of the 240. I'm going to go ahead and try and knock some stuff out on the GS300. Just popped the hood on the Lexus. I guess I'm going to go ahead and button up the radiator. I got one fan right there and another fan right here. I just got to find the harness. Honestly, not too sure where it is, but I'm going to button that up and probably start with the intercooler. Grab this guy. Well, I gotta loosen that, slide it under. Nice. So my phone ended up dying, but finally got it charged up a little bit. Didn't really film a whole lot just because it's not super interesting, but as you can see, we got the intercooler on. We got pretty much all the piping on. It's all nice and clamped down. Got the intake in. Radiator's nice and tight in there. Still have to put the little air dam in there. Still have to figure out a spot to put the power steering reservoir. I kind of want it to be remote mounted somewhere over here. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Not very entertaining, but we are slowly grinding on this thing. Got the horn in, got the, the latch and stuff like that. But next video is going to be pretty entertaining, I hope. I should be getting my CD999 shifter in, and we can go ahead and throw that in along with the trans cross member. So as soon as those goes in, we can figure out a drive shaft length, order a yoke, send it out to the drive shaft shop down the street, and hopefully get a custom drive shaft made sometime soon, you know, within this week or next week, and throw some fluids in this thing and give it our first start. We still have to extend some harnesses on this side for the headlights and a couple other things, but not too worried about that right now. I really want to get the mechanical side of things done, and then we can go to the electrical. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. Give it a thumbs up, and see you guys soon.